Hello, my friend. You walk into your bathroom. The counters are wiped, the towels freshly hung, the soap dish isn't even dusty. And yet, something feels off. Not strong, not foul, just faint, lingering, quiet, like a whisper that won't leave the room. You've cleaned, you've cracked the window. Maybe you've even lit a candle or two. Still, that subtle scent remains. And you're left wondering, is it just me? Let me tell you something gently. It's not your nose. It's your routine. This isn't about mess, or forgetting, or falling behind. It's about how time, kind as it may be, changes things. The way we move, the way our bodies shift, the way our senses evolve. What worked for your bathroom at 40 doesn't always hold up at 70, not because you've done anything wrong, but because you've grown, and so should your space. In today's video, we're walking together through 7 everyday bathroom habits, things many women carry with them for years, even decades, that might quietly be affecting the scent, feel, and freshness of your bathroom. No judgment, no overwhelm, no contortions or fancy gadgets required. Just simple, respectful changes that meet you exactly where you are today. Let's begin. Part 1. Mistake. Skipping the hidden hinges. The seat is clean, the bowl shines. A flick of lavender spray in the air, and you step back with satisfaction. You've done your part, but a few hours later, there it is again. That faint, unpleasant odor. Not strong, but persistent. Like something left behind, something you can't quite place. Until one day, you lean in closer and realize it's coming from the part of the toilet you never think about. The hinges, the grooves, the little spots you can't see unless you bend low and look. For most of us, especially after 60, cleaning the bathroom is less about scrubbing and more about pacing ourselves. We've got habits: wipe the seat, scrub the bowl, mop the floor. We check the boxes. But the truth is, some of the biggest culprits aren't where our hands go. They're where our eyes don't. Urine droplets, no matter how careful we are, tend to travel. They land in places we rarely clean. Under the toilet seat, deep in the hinges, along the rim's underlip. And once they settle, they linger. They dry. They turn into invisible markers of time, quietly building up until your bathroom smells off. Not dirty, just not right. Well, most women I know, myself included, spent years never once removing a toilet seat. We didn't know we should, or we didn't think we could. But those hinges, those little metal or plastic joints, are where bacteria loves to hide. They're warm, they're hidden, and they're hard to reach, which makes them the perfect spot for odor to take root. So what do? First, don't feel bad. You're not the only one. And no, you don't need to get on your hands and knees every week. You just need to be a little more intentional. If you're comfortable, ask someone you trust, a grandchild, a neighbor, even a home cleaner, to help you remove the toilet seat every few months. Most seats twist off easily with a flathead screwdriver, or even by hand. Once off, you'll see it. The ring of buildup that no amount of air freshener can hide. To clean it, you don't need harsh chemicals. A solution of white vinegar and warm water works beautifully. Dip a soft, bristled toothbrush into the solution and gently scrub around the hinges, the base, and the underside of the seat. Let it sit for a few minutes, then wipe dry. The smell, gone. The freshness, restored. And most importantly, the peace, it comes back too. Because this isn't about being a perfect cleaner. It's about honoring the quiet corners of your home the way you've always honored the people in it. With care, with presence, and a touch of love. Part 2. Mistake. Leaving dampness to linger. You walk into the bathroom in the morning, still wrapped in that post-shower calm. The mirror is fogged, the tile feels warm, the air thick with quiet steam. It all feels comforting, familiar. But then, a few hours later, you pass by again, and the air has changed. Not fresh, not foul, just heavy. There's a subtle sourness, a tiredness in the room, something that makes you want to open a window or hold your breath. Moisture is tricky that way. It rarely announces itself loudly. It settles. It clings. It hides in fibers, corners, tile grout, towel folds. And over time, even the smallest bit of lingering dampness becomes a breeding ground for that unmistakable musty scent. The one you can't quite name but always recognize. It's not your imagination, and it's not your fault. See, many homes built before the 1990s, especially cozy ones with smaller bathrooms, weren't designed with proper ventilation in mind. Maybe you have a little window you crack when you remember. Or maybe your fan hums quietly in the background, but it doesn't quite clear the air. And as our senses gently shift with age, it's easy to miss just how much dampness lingers after a shower, after a sink rinse, even after flushing. And that dampness? It speaks, not loudly, but persistently. In the towels that never feel fully dry, in the corners where mildew quietly starts to take hold, in the heavy fabric of a bath mat that feels soft underfoot, but never smells quite right anymore. I didn't always know this. For years, I'd finish my shower, wrap up in my towel, hang it over the hook behind the door, and carry on. The towel would dry enough, or so I thought. Until one day, folding laundry, I caught a faint sour smell on the towel I just used that morning, and that's when it clicked. Damp doesn't just go away. It needs help. It needs air, movement, light. So I started small. I swapped my thick bath towel for 2 lighter ones, one for the body, one for the hair. I began rotating them daily, using one while the other dried fully on a wide towel bar near the window. Not a hook, not a doorknob. A flat bar where the air could circulate and the towel could breathe. And the change was immediate. The scent faded. The air felt fresher. Even my skin felt better, like it was wrapping in clean fabric, not fabric that still remembered yesterday's shower. I also made peace with the fan. For years I thought of it as noise, a background hum I couldn't wait to turn off. But now, I let it run. Even 10 or 15 minutes after the water stops. Sometimes I crack the window too, just a little, especially in cooler months, when steam loves to settle and hide. And when I really want to freshen the space, I bring in a dehumidifier. Nothing fancy, just a small one that quietly pulls moisture from the air while I go about my day. Doctors and indoor air experts say that excess humidity, especially in enclosed bathrooms, is one of the leading causes of hidden mold, mildew buildup, and even respiratory irritation. But more than that, it's what steals the sense of freshness we work so hard to maintain. Because even the cleanest sink or freshly scrubbed toilet can't overpower the scent of lingering dampness. The good news is that you don't need a renovation. You don't need fancy filters or expensive sprays. You just need intention. Let your towels dry flat, not bunched. Let your air move. Let your space breathe. And if laundry is more effort now than it once was, stock a little basket of extras nearby. Rolled up towels, quick dry cloths, even a spare for guests, or for yourself when energy is low. It's not about doing more. It's about doing differently. Wisely, kindly, with softness toward the season you're in. Because at this age, Freshness isn't just a smell, it's a feeling. And you deserve to step into your bathroom and feel clear, clean, light, not damp with stress, not fogged with something's off, just air that welcomes you, towels that hug you, and a room that smells like peace. Part 3. Mistake. Only cleaning. Where you see, you walk into your bathroom like you always do. The mirror catches your reflection just right. The counter's been wiped down. You've lit a little candle. There's a hint of lavender in the air. It looks clean. It feels familiar. And yet, something's off. A scent you can't quite name. Not overwhelming. Not foul. Just there. Lingering. Soft and sour like time itself. And so you clean again. You spray the counter once more. You swish the toilet bowl. Maybe even change the hand towel and mop the tile. But still, when you pause and inhale, there it is. The faint ghost of something not quite fresh. It's not your nose that's betraying you. It's not even your effort. It's your eyes, or more accurately, the way we've been taught to clean with our eyes, because we clean what we see. The top of the tank, the sink basin, the rim of the tub. But the truth is, some of the most persistent bathroom odors live in places we haven't looked at closely in years. Behind the toilet, along the floorboard seam, beneath the sink pipe, that little ledge behind the trash can where dust, hair, and time quietly collect. I used to think if a space looked clean, it was clean. But I was wrong. The places I didn't see, or couldn't comfortably reach, were holding on to little secrets. Hair that had drifted into corners, dust that had taken root in tile grout, dried splashes I didn't know had missed the bowl. And what made it worse was how long they had gone unnoticed. Not because I didn't care, but because I couldn't always get down there anymore. It wasn't until a visit from my daughter that I started seeing differently. She was helping me do a deep clean before company came, and as I was wiping the sink, she crouched beside the toilet with a small flashlight in her hand. "Mom," she said gently, "have you cleaned back here recently?" I paused. Truthfully, I hadn't. Not in months. Not properly. I couldn't remember the last time I had looked behind the toilet with intention. Not just glanced, but seen it. And what she found wasn't shocking, but it was telling. A fine ring of dust around the base, hair clinging to the tile grout, a faint yellow haze on the vinyl where splashes had dried and faded into the floor. Nothing dramatic, but enough. Enough to explain the lingering smell I could never quite shake. Enough to remind me that out of sight doesn't mean out of impact. Doctors and professional cleaners alike say that those small spaces, the 1-inch strip behind the toilet, the crease between wall and vanity, the edge where the baseboard meets the tile, can hold on to scent long after everything else looks spotless, especially in homes with tile or porous flooring. Especially when bending down isn't quite as easy as it once was. But here's the good news. The fix isn't dramatic. You don't need to be on your hands and knees with a bucket. You don't need to scrub until you're winded. You just need the right tools and a new way of seeing. A simple flashlight can show you what your eyes may have forgotten. A bendable mop with a microfiber pad, a long-handled duster with a swivel head, even a dry Swiffer cloth wrapped around a spatula. These aren't cleaning hacks. They're acts of grace, the kind that say, my body may move differently now, but I still care for this space with love. Once a week, or even once a month, I do a 5-minute blind spot check. I turn off the overhead light, I switch on a little flashlight and sweep it across the floor, behind the toilet, along the walls. Wherever the light catches something dusty, I clean it. Not with force, but with care. Just a pass or two with my long-handled tool and a warm cloth with vinegar or enzyme cleaner. It's not about being perfect. It's about restoring peace. Peace you can feel when you step in, not just see when you glance around. Because at this stage in life, it's not about impressing anyone. It's about creating a space that welcomes you first. A space that smells like clarity, like comfort, like dignity. You don't have to bend over backward. You just have to let the light in, literally and figuratively. So the next time something smells off, don't doubt your nose. It might just be asking you to look a little lower, a little deeper, with new eyes and an old kindness. Part 4. Mistake. Using the wrong kind of bathroom rugs. They're soft. They're warm. They match your towels and make the floor feel a little less cold in the morning. Those plush U-shaped rugs that hug the base of your toilet, they feel like comfort until they don't. Until one morning, you kneel down to pick up an earring or a dropped cotton swab, and your nose catches it. That unmistakable, musty, sour scent. Subtle, but there. A whisper of something that doesn't belong. See, rugs in the bathroom are different than rugs anywhere else in the house. They live in moisture, constant moisture. Between warm showers, flushing toilets, and daily use, they absorb tiny bits of water all the time, especially the rugs that sit directly around the base of the toilet. The ones that seem the most helpful. In truth, they're the ones that hold the most. And over time, they become little sponges for everything. Not just moisture, but dust, bacteria, and the invisible urine spray. Even if you wash them every week, that buildup seeps deep into the fibers. And the longer they sit, the more they change the air around them. Doctors and cleaning experts agree. Rugs around the toilet, no matter how nice they feel underfoot, are often the single biggest source of lingering odor in otherwise clean bathrooms, especially in homes where airflow is low or mobility makes laundry days less frequent. So what's the wiser way forward? Simplify. Switch to a rubber-backed machine-washable mat that sits outside the splash zone. Choose something slim, lightweight, and easy to toss in the washer once a week. Better yet, keep 2 on hand and rotate. That way, you're never stuck with a damp rug hanging on to yesterday's humidity. And if you prefer the feeling of warmth, consider skipping the rug entirely and embracing a pair of cozy, non-slip bathroom slippers. They keep your feet warm and dry, without holding on to odor. Plus, you can wash them just like towels. And for those who still love the look of a rug, go for a quick-drying cotton or microfiber one that doesn't sit snug against the base of the toilet, one that's made to breathe. Because what matters most isn't how your bathroom looks to others. It's how it makes you feel when you walk in. Fresh, cared for, light. Like your space is quietly working for you, not against you. Little changes, big comfort. Part 5. Mistake. Keeping products too close to the toilet. You keep a clean bathroom. You've got your favorite face cream by the sink. Your toothbrush sits in its little holder. And your makeup brushes? Standing tall in a pretty glass jar near the mirror. Everything has its place. Until one day, you wonder, why doesn't it feel clean in here anymore? We often think of the toilet as self-contained, something you flush and forget. But what many don't realize, especially those of us raised in a time before splash studies and microbiology warnings, is what happens in the seconds after every flush. It's called toilet plume, a fine mist of invisible particles released with every swirl. It doesn't look like anything, but it carries what was just inside the bowl and can travel up to 6 feet in every direction. That means the air around your sink, your countertop, your toothbrush, your makeup sponge. It's all within reach, especially in smaller bathrooms. Especially if your toilet doesn't have a lid. The result? Even if your surfaces look spotless, they may be quietly collecting what doesn't belong. And no one wants to brush their teeth with a bristle that's been misted with bacteria. So, What's the gentle fix? Start with the simplest shift. Close the lid before you flush. Every time, make it a habit as natural as washing your hands. If your toilet doesn't have a lid, it's worth installing one. Many are easy to attach and cost less than a dinner out. Then, give your hygiene essentials a bit of cover. Store toothbrushes in drawers, or use a simple cover or travel case that lets them breathe but shields them from the air. Move makeup brushes into a lidded container. Keep face products in a cabinet or basket with a lid. Not hidden, just thoughtfully placed. It's not about paranoia. It's about peace. Knowing that the items touching your face, your gums, your skin, they've been protected, preserved, cared for, because you deserve that level of care from your space and from yourself. Part 6. Mistake. Tossing incontinence pads in open trash. Let's talk about something most women won't bring up, but almost all of us face. You quietly tuck a pad into your underwear before bed, or slip a liner into place just in case during the day. It's private, personal, and it's helped you feel secure through seasons of change. But what no one ever taught us is what to do after. For years, many of us simply dropped our used pads into the small bin beside the toilet, lined with a grocery bag, covered maybe, maybe not. We didn't think twice, until one day, the room smells off. You can't place it at first. The toilet is clean, the floor mopped, the towels fresh. But there it is, that faint ammonia-like scent that seems to linger in the air, no matter how many candles you light. What's happening is simple biology. Even one used incontinence pad, especially if it contains urine, begins to release odor the moment it's exposed to air. And when it sits in an open or loosely covered trash bin, it starts to seep. Not dramatically, not loudly, just enough to take away the feeling of freshness, just enough to make you feel less than. And you deserve better than that. So here's the shift. Keep a small covered bin with a tight seal in the bathroom. It doesn't need to be fancy, just functional. Then, keep a roll of scented disposal bags within reach. The kind used for diapers or pet waste work perfectly. After removing your pad, place it in the bag, tie it up, and drop it in the bin. Done. No odor, no mess, no shame. Make it part of your nightly rhythm, like brushing your teeth. Take the bin out once a day, not because you have to, but because you deserve to wake up to a space that smells like dignity, not discomfort. You've earned the right to privacy, to peace, and to a bathroom that feels as clean as the care you give. Because this isn't about hiding what's real. It's about honoring it with softness and grace. Part 7. Mistake. Forgetting the walls and handles. You wipe the counter, scrub the bowl, maybe even shine the mirror, and then you step back, thinking it's done. But there's something most of us don't see. Not because we don't care, but because we've stopped noticing. The walls, the handles, the places we touch a dozen times a week without ever looking closely, behind the toilet, around the light switch, the doorknob, even the side of the vanity where your hand rests when you stand. Over time, fingertips leave behind oils. Splashes settle quietly. If you share your home with a son, grandson, or husband, chances are the wall behind the toilet has caught more than you realize. Tiny droplets, invisible at first, drying into a quiet residue that builds scent without showing stain. And while it might not seem like a big deal, it adds up. Because even the cleanest bathroom can lose its freshness if the space around it holds on to what should have been wiped away. The fix? It's simpler than you think. Once a week, take a damp microfiber cloth or a soft cloth with diluted vinegar and gently swipe the wall behind the toilet. Give the door handle a quick wipe. Touch the faucet base, the light switch. You don't need to scrub. Just notice, tend. Remind your bathroom that every surface matters, not just the shiny ones. Because a truly fresh bathroom isn't about strong candles or new sprays. It's about noticing the little places and honoring them with quiet care. And when you do, when you tend to what most people miss, your space responds. It breathes lighter, and so do you. Clean isn't just visual, it's emotional. You don't need to scrub harder or start from scratch. You just need habits that make sense now, that honor the way your body moves, the way your energy flows, the way your life has evolved. Because your bathroom isn't just a room with a mirror and a sink. It's where you wake up your face, where you wind down your thoughts. It's where you check in with yourself in the quiet moments no one else sees. And you deserve for that space to greet you, not with overwhelm, not with odors, but with peace. Clean isn't about spotless, it's about serenity. So tell me in the comments, which of these 7 habits surprised you most? Which one are you ready to gently let go of or bring back with more intention? You never know. Your story might help another woman feel less alone. If this video gave you even one idea that brought a little clarity or comfort, would you tap like? Maybe share it with a friend who's quietly been wondering the same things? And if you'd like more videos that meet you with grace, not pressure, hit subscribe. Because around here we don't chase perfect, we build peace, one gentle habit at a time.